Before we get into this video,
okay, hey guys, this is me after like literally so long of trying to do SHU's drawing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am absolutely upset with this drawing. I do want to remind you before I get into the time lapse, you guys do not know how much when I was trying to draw SHU, that I was just trying to draw him and I just couldn't. Why I struggle so much drawing SHU. Like, I didn't struggle as much as drawing Rambo. SHU, I went through like 4 or 5 rough sketches to finally get to this. What sucked is that even his audio at some point kind of got like weird. And so, I don't know. It's just a whole mess. I'm sorry, SHU. I love you so much, but it's just, man. Anyways, we're gonna get into the actual like time lapse.
hey guys, welcome back. It is your host with the most, me, Kayla Mofu. Just want to try it out, switch it up for you guys. And I'm here to bring you guys a video in which was highly requested in a way. I just want to say before we get into the video, thank you all for the support in me making these types of videos. I didn't think my OC videos would be doing as well as it's doing. Actually, funny enough, the last video, which was my OC trading cards, actually freaking got recommended and blew up a little bit in views, and that made me like very shook because it was a video I didn't feel like I put my all into as I could have in my previous videos. Yeah, that made me a little happy, but not as super happy as I am just making these videos for you guys. Genuinely, I just want to be able to like talk about my OCs, and I just want to say I am so honored you guys want to just even hear more about my OCs and whatnot, and I just been having real fun just making these types of videos for y'all. And yeah, we're gonna get into what this video is about. Obviously you read the title. It's meet my OC story name series. That's basically it. And yeah, so we are down to now just 3 OCs to talk about, but in this particular video I will be talking about SHU. Now SHU, just like any of my other 3-4 OCs, does not have a last name. He would technically have a last name because I'm running with the gag of no last name. They're called nameless. Thank you, Sage. And so basically SHU, he is what in this world is called a magic user, but substitute magic for Dama. Like I said in my previous video, if you guys don't know what Dama is, and Dama is basically like, think of it like a hork in My Hero Academia, something you're born with. SHU, on the other hand, it's a bit more peculiar. He's a bit more he's a little special. He's different from the other people. But no, jokes aside, but because of SHU's sort of lineage in a way, his ancestors and clan originally started off with alchemy, and so it got passed down generations. SHU knows how to use alchemy, something he wasn't necessarily born with. It was a practice. Alchemy and magic are sort of like the old magic and sort of new magic. So we're gonna talk about SHU a little bit. He's of the same age as Kiba. In the early season of the series, he is 13. His height is 162 centimeters. His species is human, and SHU can basically create sand, ground matter, kind of create sand. In particular, he creates like different gadgets and stuff like that with the sand, but in particular he does like sand whips and like sand hammer, like it's just everything's like sand related, but it takes a bit of prep time to do because he has to kind of get it ready, and then he draws a symbol on the ground. Voila, that's kind of how it's formed. So with alchemy, you drawing a symbol, but sometimes Dama, you SHU's appearance. He's a young boy with short brown hair that is parted down the center with long bangs swept to each side of his face. He has a dark skin tone and dull gray eyes. SHU often wears a creamed poncho, and underneath it is a red tight cut shirt with gray pants. He's also seen wearing his hair tied up as well. His personality is very interesting, but he is a cheeky and a giddy personality. On the outside, he appears to be serious and cunning, but it's quite the opposite when it comes to anything that's not street scent. SHU also has a big appetite, and he has a fondness for meat buns. He is stubborn and persistent, looking out for those he cares about and holding out hope despite overwhelming odds. His tenacity, optimism, loyalty to those he cares about are important to him. His background, I kind of actually gave it a very simple sentence. It's more to it, I promise you, because his story is connected with Rambo. He's a young orphan. Now granted, I also do want to say I think originally I was gonna make him become an orphan, but he's not an orphan in the story anymore. He does have a parent figure, but I would just read it out for you guys. He is a young orphan who wanders all around on his own, seeking opportunities, solve problems, I put it. But obviously that's not the case. And so now we can get on to a little bit of Shu's backstory, talk about him a little bit more in depth, I meant to say.
So to start off, we're gonna talk about Shu a little bit, and basically his story and just everything else. So to start off with his mom, just being the two of them. They're not super well off. He still had enough revenue and money to kind of come in for them because of his mom's blacksmith job. Now his mom, at least in their village, was really well known, and she was really good at her craft and stuff like that. And you know, Shu found admiration for his mom and just loved the idea of, you know, blacksmith. So he did get a little interested in blacksmith work and whatnot, but he did down the line discover more so what he in particular wanted to do, but was doing it in secret and didn't want to tell his mom, because for what he thought his mom would really want him to, like, you know, continue after her craft and sort of just take over after or not when she gets older. He kind of just did it in secret. And but when his mom did discover, which was just one day when he was like kind of out doing an errand for her, she was kind of going through his room, kind of cleaning up and whatnot, and then she discovered medical books, a lot of other like healing crafts and everything else. Kind of surprised her a little, but not that surprising. A very crafty boy. He always kind of did crafts and stuff like that. This is also how she, in a way, discovered his other little hobby that he does in secret. I'm trying to like beat around a bush because I'm not trying to talk about it right now, but you guys can pretty much guess what it is. I'm pretty sure in the last video I talked about it a little briefly. She does confront him, just talk to him about it and whatnot. He feels a little bit bashful, but you know, he's kind of glad he could, you know, tell his mom a little bit about it. So I'm gonna have to skim a couple like little things here and there, but basically his family does know alchemy. His mom is, which is why she was famous for, at least in their village, was for alchemy. Eventually somewhere down the line, mom does get sick, so this is the reason why he started doing this other little thing. Okay, I'm just telling you guys, he's stealing from others. It's like a little Robin Hood. He takes in from the rich and kind of gives back to the poor. Because after his mom got sick, it got more harder for them, and he really had to just kind of try to take up her blacksmith business and put his doctoring or medical work on the side. So he tried to take up after his mom's job, even though his mom doesn't really want him to do that. He doesn't have to, but he does. Skimming a little bit in the timeline, this is eventually how he meets Rambo. And because it was a snowy night, he saw a kid face plant into like the snow. And at first, his first thought was like, oh, this is like another kid who's just like me, trying to steal and stuff like that. And so he hesitated, and getting Rambo would help him out. But in the process, he's kind of glad he's helped them, because eventually after this whole interaction, this whole event, they kind of became like little partners. Rambo kind of stays with Shu a little here and there, and then he does eventually sometimes go back to his own home, even though he really doesn't want to. And Shu knows a little bit about Rambo's family situation, but not all of it, because Rambo hasn't talked a lot about it, but he does know some general basis. Yeah, that's like a little bit of like their connection. They become like really good friends and partners. And then somewhere eventually in that timeline, a couple years down the line, they meet Kiba. Now, I don't want to talk about how they meet Kiba and all that stuff, because I'm gonna say that for Kiba's my OC. So yeah, that's a little bit of Shu's story, and roughly what I talked about for Shu's story is actually in Rambo's video, so you guys can just hear both parts of what I'm talking about to like kind of make it make sense. And I actually made a playlist for this series, so if you guys do want to kind of just keep up with like the random like lore I throw in each time, you guys can do that. This video is actually over. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I went through a lot of difficulties, I'm not gonna lie to you, in recording this video, but I still hope you guys managed to enjoy it. And yeah, I'll see you guys until next time, and maybe next time I'll be doing a Meet My OC Snow. His story is really like a lot, and I'm kind of afraid to talk about it just because it's a lot. It's probably gonna be longer. So until then, I will see you guys until next time, and stay mofo mofos.